right, welcome back to Say So TV. You're gladly appreciated. And if you're new here, it's your boy Say So. I like to give my unfiltered commentary on a lot of deep and just hot topics in the LGBT community. You feel me? So, welcome. Now, look, I got a little surprise on this video. So, first of all, today's topic is the top 5 signs that your situationship is not going to last. And I got a surprise for y'all in this video, so make it to the end, all right? Bet. Now, I've had my fair share of failed relationships, so I'm one of the best people that can tell you in this lifestyle these signs. Stay tuned to the end because the last one is crazy. Watch as I show y'all my daily routine and put y'all up on some free game. Let's go. All right, so this is top 5 signs that your situationship or relationship, whatever you want to call it, is not going to last. Number 1 is if they have to talk to or tell their friends and family every time you two have an argument. All right, now look, I know that a lot of people might be like, well, hold up now. Like, ain't nothing wrong with talking to your people just to see and get a little bit of advice because they might know some things you don't. Yes, very true, but I'm not talking about in a healthy way where it's, every blue moon, or it's, because your family was around when something happened, etc. I'm talking about every time y'all get into it, they got to call one of their friends or one of their family members, mom, cousin, best friend, don't matter. They got to call them every time y'all get into it. That's a red flag because, let's just be real. They don't know how to regulate their own emotions. They need somebody else, which means they're not really mature enough for a relationship. Y'all's relationship should be between y'all two. It should not be about anybody else being involved, and what they say goes in y'all's relationship. Because trust and believe, if they're asking other people for their opinion a lot or venting them about y'all's relationship, they are also going to take in consideration what these people tell them to do. And you want to be with somebody that got their own mind. So this is one of the biggest traits that it's not going to last because it's just immature. And on top of that, let's just be real, y'all. They're basically talking about you. Okay, this is somebody that you basically sleeping with, doing all these other things with, you trusting and confiding in, and they going and they talking about you like a dog behind your back. It may not seem like it's, that bad, but trust and believe it really is because it's a domino effect of issues that cause after that. One, your the family and friends that he's talking to you about, they're not going to want to even get to know you for real. They're going to think they know who you is. They're going to, judge you and don't even know what they're talking about. They're getting on one side of the story and they're going to take their back because they're his people. So you cannot be trying to get close to them, try to persuade them and all that. That's a messy situation. Just stay out of that and get away from somebody like that. Let them know, hey, you got to keep our business between us. If it's healthy when they're talking to people, you wouldn't even know about it. But if you catch them talking about you, if you know that they always getting on their phone talking to one of their friends and stuff after an argument, big issue, okay? Very big sign that it's not going to last. And this is just temporary. Fling is about to end. You feel me? So now, before I get to number 2, I just want to shout out Tiege Hanley for sponsoring this video. And I got a surprise for y'all. So since everyone has been asking me what my skincare routine is, not only am I going to tell you, but I'm going to give y'all snippets of me using Tiege Hanley's products that I've been using for months now. They've been making a big difference. Y'all been asking me about them. Where am I getting my skincare from? What am I doing? Because my skin is, been looking good. I appreciate y'all. So if y'all click the link in my description, y'all will get up to 40% off your box plus a gift worth $20. All right, and don't forget to click the link to get that discount. Now, look, I'm really putting y'all on. This is a really good product. Y'all know how I am. Everything got to be top tier. So click that link in the description and go ahead and get y'all skincare so y'all can be on fleek like me, okay? Just to show y'all, this is what all comes in the box. This is their anti-aging box, okay? We're all in that age group that, want to start taking care of their skin, making sure that they're not, looking what they done been through. All right, so the step-by-step routine, we got the face wash. This clears out the sweat and the oil from the pores. All right, it's really minty. It smells good. It's got like a high-class, mint, manly, masculine smell to it, but it doesn't smell like overly, fragrant to where it's gonna mess up your pores or anything. It just really smells very clean. Then we got the exfoliating scrub, smooths out skin, unclogs pores. Now, this is something that you really want to put up under that neck. You know what I'm saying? How us males, we tend to get, them darker spots just from shaving or, trimming up under there, up under the neck. So now we got the AM moisturizer with SPF, protects your face from sun damage. It's like got a tingle to it, so it kind of like wakes you up a little bit more. It really feels good just getting, ready for the day. And when you go out, it just really gives you like a nice cool sensation that wakes you up. So then we got the PM moisturizer. Keeps your skin hydrated overnight so you wake up looking brand new. Now, this is what I have on in the video. I put this on because I was getting ready to lay down before I did this video and, chill with babe before we, go to sleep. And so the PM nighttime facial moisturizer, it's thick enough to last on your face so you don't just wipe it all over the pillow, but it's still light enough to where you don't have to worry about like it itching or being irritating on the skin. The PM moisturizer keeps your skin hydrated overnight so you wake up looking brand new. That ends the routine. It also comes with instructions in the packet. You really can't ask for much else. Hit that link in the description and get your package. Look, you can have the best body in the world, but if your face isn't hitting, it's gonna be game over. So when your face is on point, confidence is automatic. And so because Tej Henley is sponsoring this video, they're hooking you up with 40% off your first box and a free gift worth $20. So yeah, look like you got your life together even if you don't. All right, now let's get back to the video. Haha. All right, now number 2. If they have a lot of narcissistic traits, okay, hear me out. If they can't apologize, always flips it on you whenever anything happens and they're wrong, they can't never admit it, red flag, okay? These are just certain traits I'm pointing out. So not able to apologize, hot and cold, things don't add up basically. When I say hot and cold, I mean they're basically 1 minute they're all, lovey-dovey, and then all of a sudden, like, and I'm not saying just lovey-dovey, I'm talking about like very kind, very generous, very not, like everything that you've ever wanted, right? On some weird, like, how is it everything I wanted, like type stuff. And then all of a sudden, they turn into the complete opposite. Like they do a whole 180 on you. And now they real cold and distant and all this other stuff. Hot and cold, okay? That's what I mean by that. That's a huge red flag, and that's a narcissistic trait as well. All right, so another trait would be ghosting. Trying to make you chase them, okay? If somebody is like trying to play mind games, be manipulative, not able to say what's really on their mind or what they want out of this, but they want to decide to play games and be passive aggressive, etc., that is a strong sign that y'all not gonna last, because this person is basically trying to get a self-esteem boost out of your, chasing them and, something that they make up and create in their own mind, in their own world that has nothing to actually do with you, but they're basically trying to incite you to be a certain way. And if they try to chase you by ghosting you or whatever, and it's not genuine, where they keep coming back and all that other stuff, then yeah, you know what I'm saying? If somebody don't want to deal with you, that's one story. But if they ghosting and coming back and, they playing games with you, yeah, that's a strong sign, okay? Another sign of the narcissism, walks away or shuts down whenever y'all having an argument that's a little, complex, like, or a discussion that's a little deep, or something that is, just too real for them and they can't come to, have some some vulnerability and they have to shut down, or whenever you are saying something right and they don't want to address it, they don't want to take accountability, so they decide they're just gonna walk away and all that. That's a strong sign right there, because that means they're not mature enough to stand in the heat. You know what I'm saying? Relationships are not always going to be flowers and rainbows. So if they're not able to actually go through a difficult conversation and come to a solution with you as a teammate, well then that's a strong sign. Yeah, plays any mind games, manipulative, not being real, and not telling you what they need, what they want, how they feel, and etc. If they're playing mind games, then that's a red flag, okay? Another thing, only cares about being heard but won't listen. If y'all always is arguing about y'all trying to both get y'all's point across, if you learn to let him finish and then he continues to try to overpower you in every conversation and dominate every conversation, well, one of y'all gonna get tired of that shit and y'all gonna leave each other. So that's a big ass red flag as well. Not being able to submit or just let it be for the sake of the peace of the relationship and be real and resolve issues instead. If they gotta walk away or run, that means that they run from themselves, so they can't face you if they can't face themselves. You feel me? And relationships have a tendency to really bring out a lot of mirroring of people, and they have to self-reflect, and if they're not willing to, then that's going to be an issue. All right, now number 3, if they are on a selfish path in life, okay, meaning if they are trying to level up or get somewhere they haven't been, or that they're not at yet, meaning they're pursuing their career, they're trying to move somewhere else, or they're in a transitional phase of their life. If they're in a hustle mentality, it's about me, I'm trying to get my shit together type of vibe, that is also a big sign that y'all not gonna last, because they'll basically will be looking past you the whole time that y'all together, because they're constantly going to be looking for what's next and what's best next thing to come for them in their journey. So you could just be a stepping stone or a placeholder that they'll use temporarily until they find their way around. So they'll just use it for resources, etc. These are the ultimate fuckboys. They are basically like nomadic dudes in the world. They on their own little journey. They doing them. They trying to get somewhere in life. And if you're, helping them get there, they'll deal with you until you're not. And then they're going to go off and do them, and they're going to do whatever benefits. Basically, they're going to do whatever benefits them. All right, period. So the reason why these guys tend to, why it wouldn't last with a guy like this is because simply they are the type to ghost and move around, and they really won't even look back half the time until it's too late. A couple years later down the line, they realize they had something good. Well, hey, they chose themselves and what they had going on and what they wanted to do over y'all, which is okay. But I'm just letting it be known, this is a reason why a lot of the times a relationship or a situationship would not work. Number 4, if you both don't have the same goals in life or relationship styles, okay? I'm not talking about tops or bottoms when I talk about compatibility on this one. I'm not saying top or bottom. I'm talking about emotionally and mentally compatible, because y'all, there's so many times that I done had such great sex with some people and we was not compatible at all. So we was compatible sexually, but when it came down to like a relationship and some actual, some grown folk shit, it wasn't happening, okay? Because basically we got together based on the strength that we had good sex, thinking that we was compatible, and ended up being some of the most toxic relationships I've ever had. So yes, that part. And also, if y'all's mindsets is not headed towards the same goals, meaning y'all will have y'all's own separate goals that y'all do in y'all's own separate personal lives that is true to yourself personally, but then y'all also gotta have the goals that is in common for a relationship and for a life, okay, for a lifestyle. So if you get with somebody and they talking about they want to have a relationship but they want to live separately, They want to, still have separate things, but they just be in a relationship and they don't really believe in marriage like that. They just want to kind of, play, but on some serious, like, consistent shit or something like that, right? But then you're like, you want to actually like get married. You want to actually be with a dude, have the whole, family, the traditional shit. You know what I'm saying? And you would like to live with your partner. Well, in this case, you might as well go ahead and move around because they already told you what they didn't want. And if y'all continue to go down that path, if you try to convince them or maybe they'll change their mind, I mean, sometimes that happens, but then you have to deal with the whole, oh, I changed myself for you, little resentment shit. It's best to really get with somebody who already has the same alignment as you, all right? Meaning y'all going towards the same goal. So regardless of whatever happens in y'all's personal lives, y'all can turn to each other in the relationship and it'll make it all better because at least y'all got that goal going for you. You know what I'm saying? It be like that sometimes. I'm trying to tell you. So yeah, that's number 4. If y'all don't have the same goals when it comes to relationships and lifestyle. All right. Now, last but not least, y'all, number 5. If they don't love themselves. Yes, if they're unhealed. Now, when I say this, hear me out. I don't mean if they are working on themselves and they're a work in progress, things don't change overnight, you know what I'm saying? But if they are not somewhere along their journey and if they're not willing, you'll be able to tell by their ways if they're being, too headstrong and not trying to, give a fuck about what you're talking about and all that. That's a clear sign that they're not actually healing. But if they are actually, trying to hear you out and, etc. I'm just saying, here's the deal. When it comes to insecure people, they ruin things before they even get started, okay? Out of fear and rejection, they allow old wounds to interrupt your bond because they usually run from their own issues, scared to face the mirror. And when you're scared to face yourself, well, a relationship is going to just bring out certain things. And if you're not ever addressing them and you're not healed from them, they're going to cause way too many issues that this person didn't even ask for, they didn't even cause, you know what I'm saying? And also, like, if they can't work on them, like let's say that they can admit it, because I've come across people who can say, yeah, I got issues. Yeah, I got this to work on. Yeah, I have narcissistic ways. Yeah, I have this way. I have that way. I have this issue, that issue. I need to do this. I need to do that. But then they never do. They never end up going to therapy. They never end up actually, getting better. They just keep telling you that they acknowledge this shit, but they don't have the ability to work on it. That's another sign that y'all not gonna work either. You might as well consider that a ticking time bomb as well, because they're basically saying, I accept who I am and I accept my demons and I expect you to too. And if you can't, well, you can only take me as I am. And in that case, you need to be able to chuck the deuces up to their ass straight up, because a lot of them will try that. Okay, and you will be miserable for real until you eventually wise up, get your shit together, and something hits you, it lets you know you deserve better, and you're gonna leave them. So regardless, like I said, it's regardless of who leaves who, y'all gonna break up 9 times out of 10. Because when a person don't love themselves, they can't love other people properly, and hurt people, y'all. Some of the most painful shit that I've been through from people that have done me dirty, they would give me the excuse of, somebody did this to me. My mama did this to me. My father did this to me. I was raised like this. This is what happened to me when I was younger. So you end up dealing with being collateral damage for a bunch of shit, dealing with people who don't love themselves and haven't took the time out to heal and do the work for themselves. So they end up putting all the shit off on you and just passing all the pain that they went through off on your ass. So I'm just keeping it 100 with y'all. I know that shit might really, sting some people, because it's like, it might come off insensitive to the fact that this is how it was set up for a lot of us to be, especially people of color. We, I get it. But you have to take responsibility for your own life and make the decisions that are going to make your life better. And you can't be sitting up here being products of your environment all your life, bro. Okay? Straight up. So this is how you take accountability for your life, and you can face your issues, deal with them, and heal, and this world will bless you so much. Trust me. But these are the top 5 reasons why most relationships is ending and are going to end. Unhealed people, okay? Selfish people, people that just don't have goals that align with most people because they have some weird ass wants and shit, you know, like just being for real, not considering what other people want. And what else? Narcissistic traits, psychopathic traits, sociopathic traits. Just unhealed trauma can cause a lot of personality disorders. So that's another one. And immaturity, talking about y'all's relationships to everybody, spreading it out off on the internet. You know, y'all done been with me for a while. A lot of y'all have. Have y'all ever hear me talk about my boyfriend in a negative way to y'all, or tell y'all about some shit we done went through or something? Like, there's people who get on here, show that whole relationship, all that. That shit immature, okay? So these are the most common reasons for relationships not lasting, situationships never reaching to be relationships, okay? So, yeah. Let me know what y'all think about this one. Hit these, hit the comments up. Like this video and hit that description link and get your package, okay? Hey, y'all know what it is. Thank y'all for tuning in again. And I'm going to see you on the next one, all right? Peace.
No, I don't give a fuck about what anyone say. No, I don't give a fuck about what anyone say.